Wave fans, it's Troy Dannen, Director of Athletics at Tulane University, back with another episode of Wave Talk. It's a really unique opportunity and privilege I have to talk to our student athletes. We've talked to Mac Brown, Gabe Feldman a couple of months ago to talk about name, image, and likeness. To talk about folks that are associated with, tied to, or here at Tulane, about issues that are relevant in college athletics. And today I'm honored to be joined by second-year head swimming and diving coach Leah Stancil. So Leah, it's great to have you with me. For those of you who don't know, Leah's again just in her second year, but her swimming career is. I was very excited when you committed to come here. 10 years at the University of Florida, which is one of the elite programs in the country. You yourself were an Olympian, swam I think in Atlanta under the Barbados flag.
Yes.
And to have your experience was. I thought it was a great coup for us to get you in here. And last year we put a lot of kids on the stand and getting the program going to where we wanted to go. But really, we're not even here to talk about swimming as much today. We're here to talk about something that happened over the summer that shook us all when you were diagnosed with cancer.
Yes.
And as an elite athlete, you're invincible.
Yeah.
And it's probably the first time maybe that you haven't been invincible.
Yes.
How did it hit? Walk me through a little bit of what hit this summer.
I think that is a pretty dead-on description of the feeling of when you are an elite athlete, when you've trained as hard as you've trained at the level that I've been able to train at, to be told that you have cancer. I liken it to being hit in the face and hit by a Mack truck all at once, because to perform at that level, there's a level of perfectionism that has to take place, and it's almost like you're not perfect. Your body's not perfect. You are now faced with this thing that's completely out of your control, and you are now have to depend on other people, and you just don't know what the future is going to look like.
You're also a mother. You've got 3 young kids at home.
Yes.
Your husband. So, a lot of people, we've all known people that have fought cancer. And, it's not just their fight, it's their family's fight. But when you're a collegiate coach, you've got 30 other daughters.
Yes.
You've got other assistants who are like a spouse, who spend as much time as you do with your spouse.
Yes.
I mean, your diagnosis has impacted hundreds and hundreds of folks around Tulane. It's different than most.
Yes, it is, most definitely. I think when I first got the diagnosis, my first thought was, oh my goodness, what's going to happen to the season? That was my first thought process, right or wrong. That's just where I was, because I'm trying to set a program and I'm trying to make it successful, and I was worried about the team's performance. And then of course it goes to, okay, how are we going to tell the kids? But fortunately I've had way more support than I could ever have imagined. At first I wanted to keep it a secret. I wanted to keep it to myself because I didn't want to ruin anyone's day. And but I'm happy, and I'm thankful that I did share it, and I did share it with my team. I did share it with my assistants. I did share it with my family. I did share it with my friends, because without that support, there's no way I would have been able to go through what I'm going through now.
Well, from the kids on the team standpoint, they're going through this a little bit with you. I don't know how far you want to go, but you're in the midst of your chemo treatments and have been through the fall. So sometimes you're there with them, sometimes you can't be there with them. And from what I've seen of them, it's revealed a lot in those kids that you never knew that they had. The perseverance and resilience that they've had in the face, let alone you. I mean, the smile on your face has been there every day.
Yeah.
And, although I'm sure it's been a struggle through the fall.
It definitely has been a struggle. So I'm a self-proclaimed control freak. So this has definitely taught me to rely on other people, rely on my assistants. My assistants have been phenomenal. Kosuke has been great in helping me figure out how we're going to do the schedule. When I'm not there, he's there. He's extremely reliable. The swimmers and the divers have been extremely supportive and helpful towards him in days, there's some days that he may not actually know what's happening because I may have forgotten to tell him something, but they have been very understanding through this process, and it's hard to describe how helpful it has been.
One of the things that coaches do, great coaches do, is the lessons they teach through swimming or through track or through football, whatever it is, are lessons that stay with the kids for their lives. Have you consciously thought about, how can I use my experience in order to help these kids learn and become better?
Most definitely, for sure. It just so happened last year we had set in 5 team values, and one of the main ones we talk about is resilience. And we define being resilient as being able to bounce back from setbacks. Another one is being positive. And from the beginning of the time, and basically the way we define being positive is good and useful thinking. And from the time I was diagnosed with cancer, from my oncologist, from my breast surgeon, from everyone that I've interacted with, they have stressed the importance of being positive to get through this. And so one of the things that, as it relates to helping them prepare the team for the rest of their life, what I try to explain to them is that sometimes life throws you things that you would never imagine that they would come.
Well, the fact that you've always kept a smile, and from what I've seen of you and from what we all in the department know of you, if we didn't know you were fighting cancer right now, we wouldn't know anything was different, because you go about your business in the same way, and there are those days, but you've kept the spirit up. The kids are still competing at a high level.
Yeah.
And we talk a lot of times about family, this is a family.
Yeah.
But what I've been proud to see at Tulane is kind of what you indicated, that when somebody at Tulane needs help, there's a lot of the other Tulaneans that step forward and
without a doubt
support them and to support you.
Yes, without a doubt. And I have definitely felt the support. I mean, without a doubt, it's so important. It is, and I am extremely thankful for that. I can't even imagine otherwise, And when I first contacted Sharvie and I let Sharvie Greer and I let her know what had happened, I was very worried and concerned about my job, how it was going to affect it. And her first thing was, you just need to worry about being healthy. And that simple statement made all the difference for me, because I was in a whirlwind of emotions and it's hard to describe. I would say I told my mother-in-law this the other day, that as a healthy athlete, if you got sick, I'm better 1-2 days a week max. This is going to take a year, and that is extremely difficult for me to accept and deal with, is that it takes that long.
And all this going on in your life, turned as upside down as anyone's life can be, and still trying to balance the family and at home, but yet the focus keeps coming back because you're a coach.
Yes.
And you're leading a group of women, and in a lot of ways our program's never been in better shape.
Thank you.
Just because of how they're developing, the experience that they've been having. So, I would just say this to commend you.
Thank you.
It's been a lesson to all of us in the department, that when adversity hit you in the face in a way that most of us have never been hit in the face, to see how you've responded and how you've continued to lead. We all hope that we can do that. We all aspire to do that if and when we get into that same position. So I would tell you thanks for that.
Thank you.
Thanks on behalf of the girls, but we all wish you the best. As you fight this, we want the program to be successful. We want to win conference championships.
Yes.
We have a student athlete who's qualified for the Olympic trials.
Yes.
We hope she has a chance to kind of live in your footsteps in that respect from a competitive standpoint. But I hope they all have a chance to live in your footprints from a responding to adversity standpoint. So Leah, thanks for sharing your story with us and everyone who's watching the video, and wish you the best both personally and certainly with the team this year.
Thank you very much for having me.
That's another episode of Wave Talk. I appreciate you tuning in and getting to know Leah Stancil and a little bit of what Leah's battling as we bring the program up, and she fights her own fight personally. Until next time, roll wave.